Hey guys, Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. Maybe a video you weren't expecting me to post on the day of NDA, maybe? Anyway, what are we looking at? We're looking at two Powercolor 6990s. Obviously we're doing Crossfire. I have already done a video which is uploaded of single card performance, but this video is just going to be dedicated to Powercolors in Crossfire. I'm going to run both the cards on the kind of like the secondary BIOS, because there's two BIOSes on these cards. You've got like a basic one, and then you've got an extra, and then you've got a slightly uprated one with a higher heat threshold and 880 megahertz on the core, 1250 megahertz on the RAM. So we're going to be running that at stock, and also what I need to say is we're going to be running it with the fan profiles on auto, not touching the fan profile at all. I'm just going to let it run. Some parts of the video I am going to run with audio on the games and stuff, and other parts I'm just going to run like a benchmark so that you can listen, and then you can listen to the fan profiles or the fan noise as well. And then right at the very end I will wrap everything up and give you my thoughts and opinions on the cards, like I said, at the end. But wow, yeah, this is going to be a long video, so definitely get your brew, go cook your tea, do all that kind of stuff. We've got a lot of benchmarks, fair amount of gameplay to get through, and lots of kind of nerdy looks and everything like that as well. Now, straight on really, it's time for the nerd porn. Right, let's have a good close-up look at the card, and then we'll be straight back with some benches. The next segment of this video is rated 18. Please only continue watching if you are over the age of 18 or have a consenting adult to supervise you. Full PCB nudity will be shown. Right then guys, after the public safety announcement, or whatever you want to call it, this is the first stage, taking the back plate off, which as you can see has some thermal pads around, because there is RAM on the back of the card. Something else I want to mention as well is that there was a sticker hiding one of the screws, and when I removed it we had a void logo on the back. So you may want to bear this in mind, because you can't change the thermal paste on the cards or apply water blocks or anything without, especially on this Powercolor model, being able to remove that sticker. So it's something to bear in mind. Pop the hood on the heatsink. This is what we've got. Two main vapour chambers with a fan in the centre with a large kind of heatsink array around it. This whole section is metal with just the individual GPU kind of heatsink stroke vapour chamber sections separate, with the fan in the middle. So you can see that. Now you can see the thermal paste is still on there because I'm quite short on time, so I'm trying to get this done for you so I can get it rendered and uploaded. But there is the basic card. Don't forget, if you want to see any bits in particular, just pause the video. But that's it. That's the card all undressed. So that's the end of the nude segment. let's crack on with some benchmarks. Right then guys, just going to give you a complete run through of 3D Mark 11 on performance. Don't forget, no audio on this, so listen out for the cards. I'm just going to keep quiet, let you watch what's on screen, and you're not going to hear my voice again until we get to the score right at the very end. Right then guys, if I just zoom you in quickly, That gives us a total score of 14,202 on 3D Mark 11. Now it's time for the good old-fashioned, slightly higher scoring 3D Mark Vantage. Yes, I did just kick the camera. Right then, 3D Mark Vantage P-score, 37,905 in total. That's with a 45,740 GPU score, and then 25,039 for the that's I'm losing my words. 25,039 for the CPU score. What I'm going to do now is do a run of can you hear that in the background? I'm going to do a run of Unigine Heaven. Here we go, guys. This is a Heaven run. Just literally open it and click run. Not made any changes. Move down a second so you can see the settings. And back up there for the scores for the pair of cards in Crossfire at stock. Right then, guys, I'm just going to turn the audio down a little bit. We've got fraps running in the top right hand corner of the screen. And this is literally just open and run Alien vs Predator. But there's not very many times, if at all, I've ever seen Alien vs Predator running at 140 frames a second. Just dipped up to 185 then. I've kept the audio down slightly lower so that you can listen for the fan speeds while we're doing this. If I just pan across, you can see the cards running away in the corner. Right, while we've still got everything running right in front of you, I'm going to open straight away Resident Evil. So on to Resident Evil 5 now in DirectX 9 mode. Only do it in DirectX 9 so it's all the same. Now I'm not going to watch you sit right the way through this, so I'm going to end this one here, and when you, well, we're going to move on to Far Cry basically. Onto a burst on Far Cry 2. We only did a short run on this, we saved the rest for Metro and Crisis, which is what we're going to be doing next.
What the hell's going on?
Right then guys, watch that frames per second in the top right hand side of the screen. We are playing Metro, it is maxed out, but yeah, it is flicking between 130 and 150 frames a second. The micro stutter, as you can see by the frames per second with these in Crossfire, is a bit bad. Aye. Never guess I played this before, would you? In the mouth. Please note that we've not gone below 110 frames a second. Uh-oh. Oh. This is where we always end it. Time for Crisis. Right guys, just wanted to show you quickly, everything's on Enthusiast. Graphics are as maxed out as we can possibly go. And we're only going to be playing it on the maxed out settings for this because, to be perfectly honest, would you expect to play Crisis with £1,100 worth of cards on any less? I don't think so. So, yeah, that's the settings. Time for gameplay. Right then guys, keep your eye on the frames per second in the top right hand side of the screen. Currently floating around the 80s. Alright, now we're down to 60s. I'm going to try and get both helicopters from the beach. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get away with it, but I'm going to give it a go.
Trucks are pulling up onto the beach.
Oh, Neil, listen up. I wasn't planning on going solo. I need munitions. What you got?
Okay, wait one while I access their mill net. Got it. There's a huge stash of explosives at the beach bar.
Oh, balls this right up.
Okay, you fucked up. They called in reinforcements. Present from Uncle Sam.
Keep moving! Headshot, have it! No! Damn it! Keep an eye on those frames a second, that really does say 45. Woohoo!
The APC on the road is still active.
Oh, it's up there. That was because it was saving the game. George! Oh, direct hit by a tank. I think that's enough. Right then guys, no matter what happened, people were always going to ask what these, one of these would have been like if it was teamed up with another one, so Crossfire. But one thing I need to say is the 6990, even on its own, is a very powerful card. I'm never going to say that it's not a powerful card, because at the end of the day, Jesus, Mary and Joseph it is. And if you're in the market for a single slot card with really big kahunas, and you've got the £550 to spend on it, it could well be the card for you. But therein lies where everything kind of, it goes from being simple to now requiring an awful lot of explanation, and I'm going to try and cover this for you as best I can in the usual TTL sit down, going to talk to you, for ages kind of way. The more GPUs that you add into a system, the more problems that you're going to run into with scaling. Like with SLI single cards, if you keep adding cards in, you'll get less and less of a percentage bonus the more of them that you get in there. With 2 cards, you might get 80 or 90% scaling. 3rd card, you might get sort of like 70 or 60%. You add a 4th card in, and you can be down to getting like 40 or 50% out of that card, as you would have been compared to if it was running on its own. So, and that's just a rule of thumb. That's not, you know, the law. That's just me trying to explain it. But also, the more cards that you add in, the more problems that you'll get with drivers. Drivers getting all the parts of all the GPUs talking together properly, and then also getting the games to utilise all those parts as well. So when you chuck 2 of these cards in, you've instantly got 4 GPUs there that everything's trying to run about and talk to. And one of the things that you probably would have noticed is that the frames per second was up and down like a yo-yo, so there is micro stuttering there. Also, in some games there wasn't a massive amount of bonus, really. Crisis, for argument's sake. When there was nothing going on, yeah, fair enough, we were seeing about 100 frames a second. But did you notice that it went down to 38 frames a second at one point? So it's one of those that they are awesome, but you have got a massive range from the the sky high maximums to the what was technically the kind of lows that we would have been expecting for a single 5970. Another thing that I need to kind of try and explain is that these cards, and as all of the ATI fanboys are already saying, generally ATI do keep tuning and refining and polishing their drivers to make them better with each release, and they do release a lot. They do 1 a month. With new cards and stuff like this, I can see hot fixes and loads of stuff going on over the next kind of month, 6 weeks, as they're picking up little problems, as all of their thousands of free beta testers will be telling them when everything starts to go wrong and people start complaining, then they'll start to fix things. But at the end of the day, that's the way the computer industry works. So, more on the 6990. I'm not overly impressed, as I've said in the other video, with the cooler, to be honest with you. The fan looks like it's been taken straight from a 6970, chucked in the middle of this, and then yeah, kind of left to it. I know they have brought vapour chambers in for the heat sinks, but it is still pretty loud, really. It's definitely, for all of those of you out there with Famorite Silver Arrow or a Noctua NHD14, people that like a nice quiet rig, this definitely is not, no matter what brand you buy, because I need to, at the end of the day, Powercolor were very nice. They sent us a pair of cards, and I don't want to bash them as a brand because they're a brilliant brand. It's one of the brands that I personally would be choosing. And there's only a couple of 3 brands that I technically would think about buying. Powercolor would be one of them because of their after-sales support. But they're going to be hot, and if you've got a motherboard where you have 2 side by side, they're going to get very, very hot. So you've got that to contend with. Also, it's absolutely enormous. You can see here that it hangs right off the end of the motherboard. Now this is a 30cm ruler, and the card is pretty much the entire length with all the bits at the end as well, so it's probably about 31cm long. Actually hangs right off the end of the Rampage 3 Extreme, and that's E80X as it is. So if you imagine that, I'm just looking here, if that was the end of your normal motherboard, you can see how much extra that's hanging over. But as again, you're not going to be buying this if you've got a small case, because you wouldn't be buying, if you had a small case, you've probably not got a lot of money, you wouldn't necessarily be considering this. So it's a difficult one. The fans do get loud, but it's because it's a stock reference card. But as a Powercolor card, it's at the end of the day, it's a reference card as near as damn it with a sticker on it. There's no voltage options on them. Overclocking was the same, and as with the reference card as well, the if you when you do overclock it, pretty much will need to set fans manual, because when they warm up they can get to a point of freezing. I have noticed with the reference card as well, if you run Unigine and just leave it running and just let it go, the system, I've noticed, has shut down because the cards have overheated. It does get to a point where they go eee, and that's with the fans on auto. The only way I've been able to do my tests with Unigine is to have the fans on 80%, and they are very loud. I will kind of, I'll give you a little bit of a demo. Well, actually, I will give you a demo, but this is something else I need to mention as well. If you've got a pair, the top card will run at the manual speed, but the front one will not run at the manual fan speed until you use a 3D application, and then it kicks in. I have no idea why, but that's what's been going on in my testing. Even if I've gone into Catalyst Control Center and set every single one of the 4 GPUs manually, it's not until that I've actually opened Vantage or something that both fans have kicked in. So it's difficult, because like I said, I don't want to be bashing Powercolor at all. It's just I've found the cards noise kind of gets on my nerves, and that's one of the reasons why when the GTX 480 was released last year, even though it was an astonishingly quick single card, I wasn't that impressed by it because it was too loud and too hot. The backs of these cards you can cook food on when you've been running them for a long time, unless you have the fans turned right up. They do get hot. They are quite noisy as well, so unless you're part of the kind of loud stereo, you know, loudspeakers, really loud headphone brigade, or, you know, sorry for you, but you're deaf, I personally found them too loud for me personally, but that is offset with some mind-blowing performance, and at this present moment in time, it is the fastest single card on the planet, not single GPU but single card on the planet. Absolutely, you know, oh my god, jaw open speeds. I've never seen 15,000 in 3D Mark 11 before, so we are talking about some astonishing performance. But as with the 6950 and the 6970, I've got to say it, the card is let down by the cooler again. And as far as overclocking is concerned, especially when you've flipped the old BIOS switch into what they call the overclocking one, with extra higher wattage headroom and a higher base clock to start off with, the card is overheating before you're finding the limits of the overclock, without having the fans running so fast that it will quite literally drive you nuts, which is a big shame. So an amazing performing product, but not without its faults, and I've got a feeling this is going to go throughout the range. I really hope, because this is a Powercolor card, and Powercolor are famed for their aftermarket coolers and the things that they do with graphics cards afterwards, custom PCBs, custom BIOSes, all that kind of stuff. I really hope that Powercolor kind of fine-tune this so that it's a better product than what AMD have brought us to start off with, because the cooling and the overclocking really has to be addressed, in my opinion. And I know I'm not going to be popular for saying it, I really don't give a monkeys, because I'm here to tell you the truth. It's not all kind of all singing and all dancing. There are a few negatives, but nonetheless it deserves, because at the end of the day they are the fastest single cards on the planet. It does deserve a performance award, but I'm not going to give it any of the other Overclock 3D awards, really, because like I said, those coolers are a bit of a letdown. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, make of that what you will. As always, with the last couple of reviews, I'm hoping all the information's there, although it might be all over the place. So yeah, that's the end of the crazy performance of the Powercolor 6990 Crossfire review. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've sat through it. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. Check my other videos, and oh dear Lord alive, is there going to be some more videos coming for you very, very soon. So, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out!